Why did three European powers colonize Somalia? The struggle for independence. Welcome back to Visit the World, where we explore history's untold stories. Today, we're diving into the complex history of Somalia, a land strategically located on the Horn of Africa, and why it became a battleground for not one, but three European colonial powers: Britain, Italy, and France. We'll also uncover how the Somali people resisted foreign domination and fought for their freedom. By the late 19th century, European powers were scrambling to claim territories in Africa during what historians call the Scramble for Africa. Somalia's location along the Indian Ocean and the Gulf of Aden made it a prime target for colonization due to its strategic importance for trade routes and naval bases. But why did three separate nations divide this small region? And how did the Somalis respond? The division of Somalia. To understand why Somalia was carved up, we need to look at the interests of each colonial power. Let's break it down. British Somaliland. Location: northwestern Somalia. Purpose: the British wanted control over the port cities like Berbera to protect their trade routes to India. Timeline: formalized in 1884 after treaties with local leaders. Italian Somalia. Location: southern and central Somalia. Purpose: Italy sought agricultural land and ports for its growing empire. Timeline: established in the late 1880s through military campaigns and treaties. French Somalia. Djibouti. Location: northeast corner near modern-day Djibouti. Purpose: France needed a coaling station for its ships traveling between Europe and Asia. Timeline: officially colonized in 1896. This division ignored ethnic and cultural boundaries, sowing seeds of conflict that would last for generations. But while these powers imposed their rule, they underestimated the resilience of the Somali people. Resistance against colonial rule. The Somali people did not accept colonization quietly. In fact, some of the fiercest anti-colonial resistance movements in Africa took place here. The Dervish movement, 1899-1920, led by Sayyid Mohamed Abdullah Hassan, known as the Mad Mullah by the British. His followers, called Dervishes, waged a 20-year guerrilla war against British forces. They used hit-and-run tactics and mobilized support from clans across the region. Hassan declared himself a defender of Islam and rallied thousands to his cause. Despite facing advanced weaponry, including airplanes sent by the British, the Dervishes inflicted heavy losses on colonial troops. It wasn't until 1920, when the British launched a massive air and ground campaign, that the movement was finally crushed. Resistance in Italian Somalia. Local leaders organized revolts, such as the Baimal Revolt, in 1907. These uprisings often involved sabotage, ambushes, and raids on Italian settlements. French Somalia. Though smaller in scale, resistance here included boycotts and protests against forced labor and taxation. Resistance was not limited to armed struggle. In French-controlled Djibouti, Somalis resisted through political movements and uprisings. Over time, the fight against colonization transformed into organized nationalist movements. The Somali Youth League, SIL, founded in the 1940s, played a crucial role in mobilizing Somalis against colonial rule, demanding independence through diplomacy and political activism. Path to independence. As World War II weakened European colonial powers, Somali nationalists intensified their push for freedom. The British, under pressure, allowed northern Somalia some political reforms, while Italy, under UN supervision, prepared southern Somalia for independence. Finally, on July 1, 1960, British Somaliland and Italian Somalia united to form the Independent Republic of Somalia. French-controlled Djibouti gained independence later in 1977, after years of struggle. Somalia's struggle against colonization is a testament to its people's resilience and unity. Though colonial rule left deep scars, the spirit of resistance and self-determination remains strong. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical explorations. In this extended segment, we take a closer look at the enduring legacy of colonial rule on Somali society, culture, and governance, and explore how these experiences have shaped the nation's identity and future. The legacy of colonial rule on Somali society. Colonial rule left an indelible mark on Somalia. The borders drawn by the colonial powers, often ignoring tribal and clan structures, sowed seeds of division that would later affect national unity. Political fragmentation. How the arbitrary division of Somali territories disrupted traditional governance structures. Economic shifts. The reorientation of local economies to serve colonial interests, leaving a lasting impact on trade, agriculture, and resource management. Social transformation. The influence of Western education, legal systems, and administrative practices on Somali society, and the resulting cultural hybridization. Cultural renaissance, and the revival of Somali identity. In the decades following independence, Somalia witnessed a cultural renaissance. This period was marked by a renewed interest in traditional poetry, music, and art, a powerful response to the colonial legacy. The role of oral traditions. Somali poetry and storytelling have long been central to the culture. Post-colonial artists and writers used these traditions to voice national pride and resilience. Cultural institutions. Universities, museums, and cultural centers emerged, dedicated to preserving and celebrating Somali heritage. Diaspora influence. Somali communities abroad played a vital role in reconnecting with and revitalizing cultural practices, sharing stories and preserving traditions for future generations. Land and Italian Somalia set out to build a strong, cohesive identity and develop the foundations of modern governance. Let's explore how Somalia sought to shape its destiny and participate in the world. In the early years, Somalia embraced democracy. A constitutional government was established, and the Somali Youth League, which had played a key role in the independence movement, transitioned into a national political force. The government focused on creating institutions that would unite diverse clans and regions under a shared national identity. However, despite initial optimism, political challenges emerged, including clan rivalries and the struggle to balance central authority with local autonomy. Economic initiatives and social progress. With independence came the promise of economic renewal. Efforts were made to modernize agriculture, develop trade networks, and invest in infrastructure. Somali entrepreneurs and state initiatives aimed to harness the country's strategic location along major maritime routes to boost trade and industry. Social programs focused on expanding education and healthcare, laying the groundwork for future generations. Despite these initiatives, the country's progress was frequently challenged by internal political conflicts and regional instability. Cultural renaissance and national identity. As Somalia worked to build its nation, there was also a cultural renaissance. The government and local communities placed a renewed emphasis on preserving the rich Somali heritage through literature, music, art, and oral traditions. This cultural revival was not only a source of national pride but also a unifying force that helped bridge regional differences and promote a sense of shared identity. International engagement and global participation. Determined to secure its place in the international community, Somalia actively pursued diplomatic relations and membership in global organizations. As a founding member of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, and later the African Union, AU, Somalia played an important role in regional politics. The nation also engaged with the United Nations and other international bodies, advocating for African interests and contributing to global peacekeeping initiatives. Through these channels, Somalia sought to overcome its domestic challenges and project its voice on the world stage. Overcoming challenges and embracing resilience. The post-independence period was not without its setbacks. The outbreak of civil strife in the late 20th century deeply affected the country, leading to years of conflict and fragmentation. However, the resilience of the Somali people shone through. Institutions, promote reconciliation, and revitalize the economy have sparked hope for a more stable future. Today, Somalia is gradually re-emerging, drawing on its rich history and cultural strength to forge a path towards sustainable development and global engagement. From the early days of democratic promise to the challenges of rebuilding after conflict, Somalia's post-independence journey is one marked by both struggle and determination. The nation continues to evolve, working tirelessly to strengthen its governance, boost its economy, and assert its presence on the international stage. Somalia's story is a testament to the enduring power of identity, resilience, and the unyielding spirit of its people. Thank you for joining us as we explored Somalia's remarkable journey from independence to international participation. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth stories of resilience and transformation. This part offers a comprehensive look at how Somalia developed after independence, shaped its nation through political, economic, and cultural reforms, and gradually integrated into the global community.